Anyone who has ever tried to learn to trade will at some point definitely discover that the mind is continually creating thoughts that are completely false. So if you have an intention to learn to trade, you will discover a need to continually monitor and deliberately choose the thoughts that you think.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified instantly of all my latest videos.
A lot of the thoughts that we think, we don't actually deliberately choose them, they just kind of appear there. So most people have what are known in cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT, cognitive distortions or thought errors. One example would be the all or nothing belief. A person might say, why do bad things always happen to me? And in that moment, they just completely block out any good thing that has ever happened to them. That's actually false, and it's not scientific. If you could go back and list everything that has happened to you and say all of these things were bad, you would probably find, well, what actual percentage of them were bad, what actual percentage of them were good. And of course, that's a subjective thing, but it's not true that bad things always happen to you. So we know that if a person believes that that's caused by a core belief. The subconscious mind has the ability to erase all memories of anything that you would consider to be good once you are supporting this core belief. Bad things always happen to me. All the good things are just wiped out. It can create a type of amnesia. So one thing we could do is to have someone, a friend or a therapist, remind you of all the good things, and then you could write them down, deliberately focus on, oh, here's a good thing. Or you could just do it yourself, which is what I would recommend everyone should do, is to take control yourself. Don't wait for anyone else to try to remind you of good things that happen to you, but do it yourself and remind yourself of all the good things that have happened to you. And that's just one example of a cognitive distortion or thought error. Why do bad things always happen to me? There's a whole bunch of them. In trading, we see people who totally believe and will say things with full conviction, something that's totally false, such as, why do those bankers keep messing up my trades? Some people defend that so passionately that if I tell them, the bankers didn't mess up your trade, you choose when you enter a trade, and bankers aren't messing up your trades. And that actually makes some people mad. Like, no, I know that they're messing up my trades. That's actually what we call paranoid delusion. The mind has many thoughts that are false. So when you begin to deliberately focus and write down the things, here's all the positive things, here's all the good things that happen, not only does that take your mind away from this cognitive distortion that bad things always happen to you, but in this case, focusing on gratitude has been scientifically proven to cause psychological improvement in general. So there are a lot of things you can see in trading, like you could, sometimes I could demonstrate. You see this thing right here, and you see how this happens in trading. Notice what happens every time this particular formation appears, and then what happens next. You could see that over and over and over again for days and for weeks and then for months. And then a person could just wipe that all out of their mind and just somehow come to a conclusion, oh, that never works. It never works. And you may have seen it every day of your life for months or years, and then you could just wipe that out because the subconscious mind controls your access to memories, and it sorts them according to your intention from your core belief. Like if your core belief wants you to believe everything is bad, then it will give you the memories that support that. So let's say you're trading and you see on your chart what you recognize as an entry signal is forming, and then a thought comes into your mind, oh, what if this trade doesn't work out? Something that's very common, because whenever there's any entry signal, you can only know the probability that it will work out. You don't know for sure that it will work out. And so that thought will always come in. What if this trade doesn't work out? And then, like, you're supposed to do something because what if it doesn't work out? When in fact, what we're supposed to do is identify if there's an entry signal and just get in, and then after that we will find out if it works out. We can't find out before that. This thought is very common to almost all traders, and some people I have seen right at the moment of being ready to get in, this thought will come up, wait a minute, everything looks good, but I just don't know if this is going to work out. And then one time I realized, well, we would never know if it's going to work out. So that's why they call it trading. So you can only determine based on your understanding of how to read markets if there is an entry signal and the probability that it might work out. You won't know, you will never know if it's going to work out. So these kinds of things are happening to almost all traders. And most traders always believe that the problem is that they need to keep searching for the trading method that works, and the trading method that will just always work, and that the problem is that you need to find out more, you need to study more. When in fact, the real problem is these thoughts that are coming up in your mind, and how they can control the results of your trading in a way that you don't actually see, because your mind is making up these things to support what you already believe. If you believe something negative about yourself or about the world, then your mind will present to you the evidence to support your core belief. And it's going to be doing it constantly, to the point that, first of all, you don't know that it's happening, and second of all, you can't stop it. And along with that, there's pretty much nothing you can just do consciously that would cause that to stop happening. Which is why there are specific things that we can learn to do to reprogram the subconscious mind to get harmony and agreement and congruence, to have all parts of your mind agree. When your subconscious mind agrees with all aspects that yes, you should do what you're doing, you should get good results, and if it has some objection that's based on a core belief from your childhood that you picked up and interpreted, you're not worthy to have success, or all kinds of basic things. Most of us as adults, if we were asked, do you believe that you're not worthy to have success in trading? A lot of us would say, no, I totally believe that I'm totally worthy, but that's at a conscious level, and at an unconscious or subconscious level, you can have a completely different conflicting belief. That's now been proven to be true and is common knowledge in all modern psychology, neuroscience, and personal development. The methods of cognitive behavior therapy, and as many of you know, I have studied and practiced a number of different modalities, but the methods that are taught in CBT are excellent tools to help people to become more aware of these cognitive distortions. So next I'm going to demonstrate to you an exercise that you're going to do that will help you to become more aware of your own thoughts. And ironically, this process is not based on CBT, but it will help you to become more aware of your thoughts and where they're coming from and how you can change them. So when you do this process, you're going to see a dramatic change in yourself. And that's what we're looking for, is a dramatic change where things start to open up and transform. And one of the things that you want to have happen to you is to become more aware of where your thoughts are coming from, and if you have any thoughts that could be causing a conflict with your current intentions.